Well, good morning everybody. It's a beautiful morning, not exactly as I planned. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Richard Gill. Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers. And let me just turn around and I'll show you why we're here. I'm not sure whether you can see them, but there's two hares actually stood in the field. They're just to the right of that telegraph post. But I'm here at a place called Yorkshire Gill in the Yorkshire Dales, and what I wanted to do, I've been driving past this place. I might walk up a bit higher so I can show you that the motorway runs by, and actually a main train line to London to Glasgow runs by as well, and I've driven past it a few times this week, and there's been lovely mist in the bottom. That's what I love, taking photographs in the autumn. Often get these misty mornings. Anyway, this morning we've got a little bit of cloud hugging the hills. We're about half an hour, 40 minutes off sunrise, so there's just a bit of colour coming in the sky. I found one possible location, but I'm just going to walk a little bit further and see if being higher up improves it or not. If not, I'll come back to this one. Got some friends here this morning. Let's see what's going on, which means Obi is very unhappy about it. So one of the things you can never trust is a weatherman. So I listened to the weather forecast last night, and it was a clear night, and he said you'll get some mist forming in the valleys in the morning, and as you can see, absolutely no mist whatsoever. There is a little bit of cloud just hugging the fell tops, but that's it. But fortunately, it is an absolutely beautiful morning. Said you could see the M6, so you can probably see the lights of the traffic as it wends its way up this valley, and I think this is going to be my first location I quite like. We've got some trees and cows on the horizon. We've got this viaduct, this Yorkshire Gill viaduct. It's no longer used in the foreground, and let's see what we can work with. We'll get our camera set up and go from there. I'm going to take a shot from here. The colour's starting to develop quite quickly now, so I'm going to have to work quickly. I'm going to try and do a bit of a long exposure to bring out those colours, so I'm going to fit probably my 6-stop ND filter, and hopefully that'll bring up some of the reds in the sky a bit, make the clouds a little bit misty, because I'll have an exposure maybe of just 1 or 2 seconds, something like that. So I'm going to crack on with that before the light changes too much. So as you can see, the colours are starting to develop. I've done my first shot, 8 seconds, f8, just a tiny bit underexposed. I've got my 6-stop ND filter on. Colours are really starting to develop, and it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful morning. So I'm going to take another shot here, slightly different composition, and then we'll have a move to a slightly different location, just come a bit nearer to the viaduct, and the sun, I think, is going to rise this direction over here. Change my composition now. What I'm thinking about in the composition is just lacking a bit of foreground interest, so I'm really having to use the viaduct as the foreground interest, and getting closer on the hill. I'm using a 24-70 lens, and I've got that set on 70 at the moment, and so I'll take the shot here. I'm still at f8, about 1/8 of a second exposure. Show you the back of the camera. Just spotted another location further up, which gives me a better view, sort of looking that way over the valley. I'll still get the sunrise coming, so I'm going to move up there and see what I can capture up there. That's the thing with this, you never quite know what the light's going to do till you get there, and then you end up charging about, worrying that you're going to miss the best light because you're not quite in the right location. I suppose it's one of those things, if you can come back to somewhere 2 or 3 times, then you can always get a better shot. But the one thing you can't guarantee is the weather. But really no complaints today. There's something magical about being out at early in the morning as the sun rises. I think it's also the quality of the light has some effect on your mental well-being, on your brain. Makes you feel really alive, resets your body clock. Yeah, worth the effort of getting up this morning. As they say, nobody remembers to lie in, but you'll always remember making the effort to get up early if you get a reward. Something like this anyway. Well, as we run, so set up and get our next shot. Oh, the sun has just come above the horizon now. I'm filming this a bit into the sun, so there's a bit of flare, but compose my shot from something like here, I think. So I've got that viaduct, and I'll probably finish up at framing it, actually cropping it more into a sort of 16:9 format. I think that'll work well. That nice tree, I think it's an oak tree or something there in the right hand side of the frame, that will just help things with the composition. Actually, that looks quite nice. I hope you enjoyed watching that video. It's a place I've wanted to go to for quite some time, having seen some really atmospheric conditions there. And they weren't quite what I was expecting today, but I do feel it was well worth the effort of getting up early. And there's a few things you could consider when you're taking those kind of shots. Now, I shot a lot of the sky in both 1/3 and 2/3 proportions. So 1/3 of the sky at the top, or 2/3 of the sky at the top of my frame, just to see what the different compositions meant, and that's something you should think about. One other thing I could have tried was shooting some shots in portrait. Now I could crop some of the landscape ones I've got. I didn't actually feel portrait was going to work today because the way the landscape was shaped, actually it was more suited to like a panorama style, which is why I talked about cropping some of those shots to a 16:9 kind of format. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please do remember to give it a like, and if you're looking for tips and tricks on your photography, then why not subscribe to the channel. I also have a ebook which will give you 50 tips that will help you improve your photography, and if you'd like a copy of that, simply follow the link in the description, and that'll take you to a page where you can download it from there. And in the meantime, get out, enjoy your cameras, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.